Billy Rubin.
It feels like Billy Rubin. Look at that, man. I'm over here. Oh shit, we got John Mayer in the house, y'all.
Man, dog, you got Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash used to play the guitar like this.
You're Johnny 2 cents. Yes, sir.
Johnny Monedas.
Mm.
Johnny, can I get some of your spare change?
Come on, break
Wow,
a
what
brother
a bad
down, man.
fucking joke,
Break a
dog.
brother down,
Bad
man.
jokes.
Pick a brother up, man.
If you got dad jokes, you got bad jokes.
You got some bad dad jokes.
Yo, so what's up? Are we ready to take off or what?
We are taking off. We took off. We in the middle of the highway right now, man.
That's what's up. So we were talking about Bomb Bomb. Let's give the people a little, welcome. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Everybody,
it is
welcome.
Monday night. We weren't able to get the show off yesterday because Alfred was visiting like 3 different relatives yesterday. Like it's like Christmas Day. Which, by the way, do you remember that, dude? I remember Christmas Day would come around, and all I wanted to do was play with my presents and touch my toys. That sounds so fucking horrible. I just wanted to touch my toys.
Touch them. I don't even want to play with the toy. I just want to touch them.
Just want to pet my toys. So I wanted to fucking play with my toys, right? And then Nintendo 64, whatever thing I got, And then I would wake up early, around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I get the tap on the shoulder. I get the yell across the house saying, yo, get dressed. We're going to go visit your grandma's house. And I'm like,
yeah, do you not see what's going down in the hood? I
just turn this shit on.
Right now, Mom.
No, we didn't hear. She didn't want to hear nothing about that. We got dressed. We went to my grandma's house, and went, which is all like beautiful memories now because I don't have my grandma anymore, my grandfather. Go visit my grandfather's house. Go visit my tia. Bro, just a bunch of people, to the point where I would get back. And fortunately, we had the rest of Christmas vacation to fuck around. But
Christmas vacation,
dog. And now we'd be lucky, dog. We'd be lucky if we get something like that nowadays. But anyway, so wait, hang on a second. I gotta stay on track here. So we talked about how did we get here already? I'm already forgetting.
I don't know. We're in the middle of Christmas. We haven't even passed Halloween yet.
We're in the middle. Wait, all right. Talking about going to the grandma's house. Yo, we're getting off to a great start. Great start. But anyhow, we'll come back to it if I remember what the fuck we were talking about.
We'll loop back. We'll do you
bring it back. So we're talking about Bomb Bomb, right? And Bomb Bomb is a song by Joe Arroyo. He's a Colombian salsa legend. What you want to say?
I don't want people to confuse it with
Joe Arroyo, the commissioner.
No, the Jamaican version by.
Oh, Bam Bam.
I think the name is.
I don't know. You're better at that than me, bro. You're better at that than me.
Yeah. I think that's her name.
To me, I mean, I'm not trying to sound ignorant. Everybody's UB40 to me. No, fuck it.
The craziest part about her was that she didn't have the copyright, on her own, her own production. So she never got any kind of royalties through most of her life. I think it was like a couple of years ago that Jay-Z actually helped her out.
Really?
Get it passed, so she had retro pay for all the royalties.
Is she still? She's still around or what?
Yeah, she's still around.
Good for her. Good for her. So at least she got her due in this lifetime. A lot of the times, I actually saw a funny meme yesterday. That white guy blinking face that's a meme and it never gets old. The one that he's like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it's just the white guy blinking face.
Yeah, like.
And so the meme was that face in the clouds, and it's just like beautiful clouds around him. And it says artists or painters or any type of artist years after they've died, and when their paintings are selling for millions and millions of dollars, and they were starving artists, and they fucking died broke as fuck. And that's basically the face they were making. So again, happy that somebody had some sort of success in terms of getting back their due.
Yeah, but
bro, here's the thing though. I think that too many people though. I mean, I'm not trying to jump into this, but too many people like to be celebrated or expect to be celebrated during their lifetime. and it's no, I mean they end up getting celebrated after, but that's
get
because
celebrated. Oh man, he was such a good artist.
yeah,
After you're gone.
and there's a good reason for that, and that's because they might be ahead of their time. There might be just like the trend might be something, and they're just so far ahead of it that no one's really vibing to that, and then it gets discovered, or a different artist comes around and sees it and knows how to spin it, and it gets off to something bigger than the original guy. But the same thing could be said for people that have a contrarian view with science, math, religion, so many things. Like, you're so rarely celebrated during your lifetime when you're a visionary of like obviously consequence, then most people are, or like, I guess, like, people expect to be celebrated now, and I'm like, nah, man. Usually, yeah, sure, you're Beyonce, but like there's only one Beyonce, there's only one Jay-Z, there's only one
Jay-Z.
I mean, like, what's a good example though of an artist that is much more
good
appreciated
artist, an
now?
artist that was.
Well, we're talking about a legend,
at the
obviously.
moment?
We're talking about legendary stuff, though. We're not talking about fringe.
Somebody who
kinda
wasn't
guy.
appreciated at the moment for the product that they put out.
Yeah.
Until years after.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I'm sure that there's a gazillion, but let me think here. We don't want to waste everybody's too much. We're here chin stroking right quick. I mean, the one that comes to mind, it wasn't necessarily a musician. He's not, no, definitely not a musician, but he's Vincent Van Gogh. And we're talking Vincent Van Gogh today. But so that guy died destitute, man. That guy died broke as fuck. He died, obviously he was mentally, ill for the majority of his life. And who knows if maybe that kind of like contributed to some of his art. But that guy was just like not celebrated at all. And then I really don't know the history as to why he became, his name rose to prominence after. There's obviously, it happened, but see that guy right there, nobody loved that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, his shit was just nothing.
Another artist that was very unique in his view and how he perceived the world was Dali. Salvador Dali. Yeah, like a lot of people.
Yeah, but do you think that he was not celebrated?
I think he was celebrated. Yes. Oh, I see.
Right, because it's one thing to have your legend grow, and I think that as time goes by, and then his look was so stark, even by today's standards, he was like, his personality comes out in black and white pictures of himself, right, and let alone his art. That it's like that sort of situation is just. I mean, I think he was plenty celebrated or plenty, renowned, and then his legend gets bigger as time goes by.
As time passes, I got one quick nugget that's pretty interesting that I learned about Salvador Dali. Was he would eat a lot of food in a lot of different restaurants for free, basically. Because when he went,
that's the kind of recognition I want, bro. Fuck everything else, bro.
No,
give me some free food everywhere I go.
It wasn't because the restaurant wanted to just give him food for free. It wasn't like that.
Well, what's the catch?
And then he'll do a little garabato and signature on a piece of paper. And that signature on that receipt was actually more value than the whole meal that he had eaten. So people were like, nope, I'm not discarding this. I'm not processing this.
But so then that is the complete opposite of what we started off talking here, which is a good point. So like, no, but it's cool that you bring that up, because it's like, you're telling me that this guy was given free meals and he was just asked to sign a piece of fucking paper, and then that paper obviously was, say he had the most extravagant meal, say he was fucking just noshing on caviar and escargot and Dom Perignon and all this shit, and the signature that he, or whatever garabato, whatever doodle that he did on a piece of paper was so much more valuable. Think about it. And then you have Vincent Van Gogh, where this guy's cutting off his own ear in a mental, ward. You don't know about this, bro? Get educated, dog. Get a little culture in your life, bro. You're over here.
That's the pain that he did with the Band-Aid.
Yeah. He whistled. Except he couldn't really hear it from the one where there was bandage. Damn, that was
You want to
another
know
dad
why,
joke.
right? He was probably
I'm on
listening
a
to some
fucking roll.
he was probably listening to Nickelback. That's what it was.
Let me tell you something. I'm on board with the Nickelback hate. What I'm not on board with is hating that that first song that I remember them being popular for, where the guy goes like a paperback novel. That's a good jam. I don't care what anybody says. Everything else is a big sloppy piece of diarrhea.
I
But
think people
like a
just
paperback
hated them.
novel, that was a good jam, dog. I don't even know the
They
name of
were
it. This is how
very.
you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. None of you say sorry, was winning a different story. But I had a high was big head in my ear. Up and down, tell about that everybody. Yo, acapella Nickelback, baby. You can only get that shit right here with me and Fred D.
Talking about that and that, man. Some of the greatest rock bands. For me, I think Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam just has a place that when I want to get into like this aggressive mode, I put a little Pearl Jam on.
What do you mean, like you want to get in your passive aggressive mode, or is it like
yeah? Because I'm very
all right,
not very direct. Yeah.
You know what I love about doing the pod over here on my phone.
Gonna say about doing the Dougie. I was like,
real quick. That means I'm not trying to like jump too much, but I just got my Uber Eats notification. I got a little Haagen Dazs coming up on the way.
Haagen Dazs?
A little Haagen Dazs.
Man,
my girl's gonna be so happy when she sees that.
The Bailey shake.
We'll go back to the Pearl Jam. Let's talk about that Bailey shake. This is something that needs a spotlight. So you and I used to go to the mall, like we talked about a couple episodes back.
We're young stallions. Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I still ain't out to pasture yet, son. I'm out there stallion.
I'm over here just trying to stay together. I'm trying to keep my hair in place. Stay where you at.
You're in the stable, dog. You know what, bro? Look, we're both in our mid-30s and we're doing okay in that regard. I know a lot of dudes, but hey, let's stay in one topic over here, bro. We're like ping pongs right now. Let's talk about that Bailey shake, all right? So let me just talk about that Bailey shake. Haagen Dazs, right? Freddie and I, let me paint a picture for you. Freddie and I used to go to the mall Saturday, with little chump change that we made throughout the week, and then peruse the stores, little window shop,
little window shop,
and buy me a little T-shirt. But the feature of the day was the Haagen Dazs kiosk at the mall. Could have been Daylight Mall, could have been Dolphin Mall, could have been wherever. I'm gonna find that one, and I'm gonna find that Bailey's ice cream, and they're gonna make me that shake. And the reason I say it with such fervor in my voice is because they fucking discontinued the Bailey's shake. Now they have one again. It's not the same recipe. It sucks, bro. I don't even think it's Bailey's, so I think it's just like Irish cream or something like that, which is what Bailey's is, right?
It is
a big, it's a poo-poo platter, bro. Let me tell you something. Guys, if anybody had tried this way back in the day, leave a comment down below. I want to see the conversation get started on the Haagen Dazs Bailey's ice cream, but most importantly, the Haagen Dazs Bailey's shake.
We're gonna start that hashtag, the Bailey's comeback.
Bring Bailey's back. Let me get that BBB, that Better Business Bureau. You feel me? That bring Bailey's back.
Bring the Bailey's back.
Bring the Bailey's back, please. Dude, amazing, bro. Amazing. I don't even know. It was just like so perfect. They had, and the great thing was that they didn't try to put that fake alcohol flavor. It was just the cream part.
It was perfect. It was just so
a little chocolatey, a little creamy.
Good, man.
Yo, it was the culmination of that perfect Saturday where me and you were just going down the damn aisles at the mall.
At that point,
striking out.
At that point, it didn't even matter what was going on. The week went through, no matter what happened, we had our Baileys, man. We had something to look forward to.
I can't believe you just brought that back up, dude. That's amazing. Because I've been after it for a while, and I've settled here and there. Right now, what my girl and I just completely obsess over, bar none, is Ben and Jerry's fish food. So we love ice cream one way or the other.
Hold on. What'd you
Clearly.
say?
So Ben and Jerry's has a flavor. It's been around forever. It's called fish food, and it's spelled PH, right? Like the band Fish.
I thought it was
And
fish food. I was like, y'all eating pellets?
no. Well, fish don't eat pellets. It's they eat those little flakes that when we had a little aquarium back in the day when I was a kid, and I'd feed the fish every once in a while. I'd sneak a little flake because it smelled good, and then I tried it out, and I'm like, damn, I don't know why y'all fish eat this type of shit, dog, because that shit nasty, dog.
You just surprised the hell out of me.
Disgusting.
You out here eating. You just froze.
Surprised.
It's so funny the way you just froze. Oh my god.
Wait, am I unfrozen now though?
Yeah, you're unfrozen now. You're good. But
so check it out.
Okay, so I'm learning this for the first time ever. You used to eat fish food. So what else did you used to eat? Like that was just.
So no, but check it. Oh, in terms of weird shit, bro. I mean,
Did we ever?
how about we go back and forth with the weirdest shit that we've ever eaten?
Ooh.
Huh? Because
Yes.
I can tell you right now, weird. Well, the fish flakes were weird, but man, what the fuck are we talking about this for right now? We're not done talking about ice cream, man. So, fish food.
I already have my selection in my head.
Don't worry about that. Keep holding that weird shit in your head. Then I'm gonna talk about the good stuff. I'm talking about fish food.
Okay.
And so, fish food is this beautiful.
Did you know?
No,
Who is it?
Uber Eats.
Go get it.
I can't get up. I'm on camera. Can you bring me?
Don't tell me anything.
It's probably the fish food.
Yo, let me paint a picture for you guys. So my girl just barges in the room right
saw
now
that.
because you didn't see shit. You heard it. Yo, check it out. She comes in here, and I got the headphones on, so I didn't really turn and look when she comes in. Hey, so I told you my girl's gonna be really happy, and I'm not talking about because I got her any, but because it's only for me. And yes, of course, I have to take it easy on the sugar. But I actually, when we were on severe lockdown, the first thing that I kind of made a change on was no booze whatsoever. I said, you know what? I think I don't know how long this lockdown is going to last for us. It ended up lasting 7 weeks for me. So I was basically 7 weeks out of work. And it was a little tough because, you start to it's a weird time. I think everybody had a weird adjustment. I think that, couples were fucking having some pretty deep talks. Some people were revisiting some of their decisions. But
yo, this chick is crazy, man. Hold on.
She said, yo, what's going on? He said, temperature's a little hot in here, man. So check it. Excuse me. So I go out for a walk with V. This is maybe the second week of quarantine, and when I get back, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm starting to prepare some breakfast because we went out for a pretty long walk, where it was 2 or 3 hour walk, and it was a healthy habit that we're trying to build, And then as I'm doing the stuff around the kitchen and doing the dishes and getting breakfast, I start, mixing myself up a little cocktail. And I was able to really step back from that for a second. And I was like, nah, this really is not a sustainable habit that is about to be cultivated here.
Yeah.
So I said, what I'm going to do is finish this one because I'm not going to let good booze
Hey, you're
go
not
away.
going to throw it away now. Hey.
It's what is it? Suntory gin with a little bit. My drink of choice was a little Suntory gin, ginger ale, and then go hard on the lemon. Oof. And so it's like a fizzy lemonade with that gin. Mwah. Throw in some lemon wedges in there. Just a little touch. But whatever, dude. So I stopped, right? And I said, okay, the 7 weeks or whatever, however long the quarantine's gonna be.
Yeah.
No booze, zero, right?
Oh,
Cold turkey. I mean, I wasn't a heavy a drinker, but I'd have a couple beverages a week, and whatever. So long story short, here we are today, and it's been almost 3 months since we've been back to at least to work for me, and I'm kind of keeping the streak going. I really don't have. I'm not going out anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't. What do I need to celebrate at the moment in terms of having a drink to do it with? So I figured I'd stay away from that. Drop the booze. I don't smoke. I'll smoke a cigar every once in a while, but we're talking about like fucking every once in a while. It sounds too often to me. But the sugar, bro, the sugar, like this, not even like candy, but I'm talking about like ice cream, pies, cake. That's my fucking Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Let a man indulge here
doesn't have that
for a
Achilles
little.
heel of having sugar. Okay, direct.
Yeah. So anyway, and I definitely am making incremental positive changes, but right now that positive change is gonna look like
That change is going out the door. It's changing your mind.
And since it's ice cream and ice cream is prone to melting, I'm gonna just go ahead and enjoy this as we're having this little pod.
Yeah, man.
Hope you don't mind.
Shoot.
Hope you don't mind. Damn, it is good too.
It's good. It's good.
Oh yeah.
My favorite.
What I got here.
My favorite dessert from Haagen Dazs at the moment is the fruit, the banana. It's like a whole cocktail. It has banana, it has strawberry, hot fudge.
It sounds like a banana split, bro.
Yeah.
It's been around for 50,000 years.
50,000 years, and it's going to continue going, bro. But I tell them, hey, listen, hold off on the pineapple, double up banana, and put 2 layers of fudge.
Ooh.
Boy, when my sugar starts rolling, rolling. I'm talking about going. It's so good. Anyway, man. It is so good. I can't.
So the moral of the story is that
we like to eat.
I love me some sugar, and it's definitely something that I need to, because here's the thing. Let's be real. Mid-30s, thankfully, thanks to God, super healthy, can't complain. But one thing that certainly runs in my family is a little, sugar,
sugar high, man. Listen,
situation. So, I mean, I think the alcohol is a net gain for me, and this right here is mitigating a whole fucking gain. Anyway, so what's up with you? What you got going on?
What's not up with me, man? I'm out here going through life, man. You know how it is. Every day it's a challenge.
How so?
My emotions, man. I'll be dealing with the stock market on a regular basis because I invest. I dibble dabble, investing. But there's weeks, man, that I'll be seeing just everything.
I was concerned for you for a second when you just said your emotions all day. Oh, I got a good therapist you can go see right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to make money.
Good thing
right now.
True, aren't we all?
So, and that's the thing. I have always had that idea in my head. I say, you know what? I live by that direct principle. If you're not making money, you're wasting money. Now I want a day off. I want to relax. I want to. If you're not making money, you're wasting money.
So what do you mean by that, though? Like,
I ain't trying to be frivolous, but I'm just talking about being real.
Right. But again, I want to understand what you're doing about it, though. Like, you're saying that, but give me the details of your day-to-day management.
Day-to-day management? Well, I work, my regular hours. I just take care of business. But besides that, I'm always thinking in my mind, I'm like, how can I bring extra revenue into my life, passive income? How can I play my cards right? Because that's what life is all about. Making the right moves. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take more steps forward.
Yeah. Come on.
No.
This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about zero cliches. I want you to give me your actual, okay, so you go to work. We all go to work.
Yeah.
When you get out of there, what special approach are you taking? Okay, so you invest in the stock market. So how do you, are you super invested in it? Do you put in 40% of your salary towards it? How does Alfred, for, the everyman, which is what we are,
I'll say about.
How did you, first of all, in a nutshell, how did you get involved in it? And where are you now? And what are your goals? Let's start from there.
Okay. I'll say about a good 15 to 20% is what I'm trying to, every month put to aside for the growth of my portfolio. How did I get into it? Okay, so I see, we're going through this whole craziness and I mean, I've never thought about the stock market. I'm always thinking that's not for me, company shares this. Now I'm like every average person, nobody really knows, nobody really cares. And then you start hearing always about politics, the stock market, and always seeing these CEOs and all these rich people. I'm like, hold on, man, listen, how am I so different that I can't get a piece of the pie, man? I need to just learn what's going on because it gets me furious when I start seeing everybody say, the stock market's crashing. Perfect time to buy. This is where millionaires get made. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Millionaires got made.
Before I put $1 in, let me start doing my homework. So I started looking online. There's a couple guys that have amazing channels, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And they've put in the work. Graham Stephan, that's one of the main channels. That guy is amazing. Andre Jick.
So he talks to you about
well, he'll talk to me. He talks in general. He has millions of followers.
In general. Well, if it's only you in the room, he's talking to you. So
but there's another guy that's the main guy that I really started thinking about having another form of income, a passive income. Saying, you know what? I can start investing in basically dividend company, blue chips company can pay me for just holding on to their shares. And I'm like, of course, you got to pay taxes on it. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's still passive income. Because you're not doing nothing by putting money in your savings account if it's not really going to grow like you think it's going to grow.
So,
risk, of course, like I said, you have risk.
So, yeah, okay. So, for those that don't know, and if you're our age and you don't know, then help yourself out there. But savings accounts, your run-of-the-mill savings account, obviously doesn't give you that much money back. It gives you a very small percentage, and that's in order. It's nothing that's worth it. You can probably sell a pair of shoes in your closet and make more of a profit than what you're going to end up if you don't touch $1,000 for 10 years.
Now you're getting it.
I know. I get that. What I wanted to know, which you're painting a picture of, is how you got involved in. So you're saying you put 15 to 20% of your a week or of every paycheck, or
after the initial commencement of me, saying, okay, I'm doing my research. I'm waking up every single day early just to study and understand how and what the stock market is all about. How do these companies operate? Knowing the examples and just how to read charts and a bunch of stuff there that I'm like, okay, at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm lost. I was lost. I was like, I don't know what the hell a candlestick is. I don't know what a moving pattern is. I don't know, what a trend is.
So a candlestick to me is something that you decorate, or it has like a nice set.
Yeah, beautiful for dinner.
Or something that you blow out when you're turning whatever age you're turning on your birthday.
Yes.
And what's the other thing? The moving pattern, is that like a football play?
Yeah. That's when the Steelers won the Super Bowl. So yeah, so check this out.
China does that, right?
Huh?
No, go for it.
So yeah, man. So I'm done dealing. I'm done dealing and just playing on the sidelines, not doing nothing about it. I'm gonna get a little bit of money, and mind you, this was in very uncertain times.
How long ago was this?
April 20th, 420.
What year? This year?
A couple months ago. So
damn.
Yeah. I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the stock market. I didn't understand anything, and I was like very oblivious to see everybody talk about. Oh man, I bought into Apple when they were $30, and Apple right now is like at $423 today.
Yeah, but that $30 Apple was years and years and years and years.
I used to work in Blockbuster. Rest in peace. There's actually still one more Blockbuster left.
I think that one actually closed.
No. And they were selling merchandise too to stay open. How crazy is that? I used to work for a Blockbuster, and I used to work out of a Blockbuster was in Atlanta. And I remember when Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix. And they were like, hey, listen, they're trying to sell them to them, but they didn't want to buy, and they didn't even want to change their format of how they operate, their whole structure. I was like, all right. We ended up.
I heard Netflix got laughed out of the room.
Yeah, and look who's laughing now.
Well, for sure. But so you're working at Blockbuster. You hear about the whole, potential transaction, and then what?
I didn't think about like I was young. I didn't think about what's the possibility with this. If I would have jumped on that carriage at that time and really put my eggs in that basket, I would have been sitting pretty right now. But like I said,
but see,
happens.
But here's
the
thing.
I didn't know.
But time out a second. At that point in time, if Netflix is trying to have Blockbuster purchase it, then that means, or that doesn't mean that, but I'm guessing that Netflix wasn't a publicly traded company yet. So then you didn't really have an opportunity, I could be wrong, to invest very small when it was obviously not likely that it would grow into what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, sure. And I mean, that can be said about anything. I mean, I could have, when I was a little kid, they could have bought me my dad could have invested in Amazon, and then, God knows where we would be now. The thing is that
making this podcast, or at least making a podcast in a different yacht.
A yacht?
On a yacht.
Shit. Right now, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. Don't you see the little vanity back there?
I'm saying if you would have invested in Amazon, bro. True. Come on.
I mean, I hear you. Yo, so that's crazy though. Like, so you started this in April. And
April 20.
What did you start? So very, very, like, this is the specific that I want to know though. You started with how much money? And in what kind of what endeavor? Did you just go and
basically I got in, and at this time the stock market was still rebounding. So it didn't matter where the hell you put your money. It was a surefire that almost every single major company was still on its way climbing back up to where it was, or at least trying to, with the whole ordeal of this crash. And I put $2,000 I put initially into the account. I said, all right, I'm going to put my money here. So I started spreading it.
So did it diversify for you? Did it say, let me take this 2,000?
I do my own management of my own portfolio. So at that moment.
So you chose whatever you were getting into.
Yeah, I'll buy some shares of Delta, American Airlines, Apple,
How are the airlines doing? Are they bouncing back?
I mean, no. At that time, there was a lot of volatility, meaning volatility is that the stock market, it's just very unpredictable. You don't know how the trend is going up or down, depending.
Yeah, and it could go up real fast, or it could plummet real fast.
Lose all your money in 1 second, basically, and with pennies. But I decided, you know what? Right now, I'm seeing a lot of news on medicine and about these companies, and it was weeks and weeks and weeks. Actually, not weeks, months before people even knew who the heck Moderna was. And I went ahead and I put a couple, about, I think it was around $300 into Moderna. And then they shot up on that Monday. I think I had about $1,200. It went up to $1,200 on what it had in shares in Moderna. And I'm thinking.
So Moderna is one of those pharmaceutical companies that was tasked to get the vaccine going, and they're showing promising signs, right?
Yeah. So they're in phase 3 right now. So they're almost basically about to complete their last portion of their process to get this approved and finalized. So at that moment, I'm thinking, wow, like shit, I put $300. My money's fourfold. So I'm like, that's great. I'm thinking in my head, never been involved in stocks. I'm thinking it's just going to continue going sky high. There was a quick rush in pre-market that boomed up the stock, and then people started selling off. And I started seeing $1,200 go down, and I'm like, why is it going down so fast? Everybody basically had played it for a quick flip. So I decided, shit, let me take my money out. So I took my money out at $800. So I made about a $500 profit on just that one deal. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but you still have to pay tax on that, right? For
Yes,
on the money that you gained.
Yeah, you gotta pay capital gains tax on anything, especially I think it's 15 to 20% on short term, which is less than a year that you have holding. So you gotta pay it up. But
So do you pay a higher percentage of tax if you get it out in short, or do you pay more if you play the long
if
game?
you hold a share or a stock basically for a year's minimum period, after that you pay less taxes. So if
So
you
it's a
take that
penalty.
money out and you
It's
sell
basically
for that 1 year, you're paying more, paying higher tax bracket.
okay.
So, and that was my
Interesting.
first move. And I said, you know what? I learned a valuable lesson of when to sell, when to buy. And I know that these opportunities don't always pop up. These opportunities sometimes will happen and you won't see it coming.
So do you think that maybe you kind of, I mean, this is just with the one example here, that you kind of sold too quickly? Did Moderna get a big boost because they are a leader in the vaccine
No, well,
race, or not so much?
I think, well, you got to remember also a lot of what's going on in certain apps and in certain platforms, it's because of the amount of new investors that are coming in. People like me that never traded or don't have a lot of experience in the stock market and understand the volatility of it.
Okay.
So everybody, I guess, saw where it was at the moment. So everybody just decided to sell. But I started learning a couple of details of what I'm going through. I'm like, okay, this is good for me to learn. I mean, I came out on the winning end. So I'm like, okay. So I started doing my research on companies that were in the process of coming out public in an IPO, which is an initial public offering, which is when they go
When
public.
they first go public, yeah.
Yeah, when they first go public, and one of them was Nikola, which is kind of like a rival to Tesla.
Yeah, the electric cars. I saw they had
Yeah,
a
they
pretty
got
cool looking.
hydrogen and electrical EV cars, and they actually started off with semis.
What is the next electric car or like super duper hybrid car gonna come up with in terms of a name? Because Tesla got the last name and Nikola got the first name.
Well, yeah,
Does he have a middle name that we don't know about, or
no, I
are
don't
they
know.
gonna call it like, are they just gonna use the first and last name like Nikola Tesla, or like, because bruh, like,
Tesla
let's come up with some
Nichols.
more original ideas, guys.
No, but
You
the
know,
funny part was that
Albert Einstein SUV. Come and get it.
well, that's not a bad one. Hey, listen, we changed
With
a
a
little bit.
1,500-pound payload. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
After that, a bunch of different companies started coming out. There's Tortoise Acquisition, which is another company that they do. I'm not gonna get into detail, but there's a lot of companies that have come out. Neo, there's Workhorse. There's a bunch of companies out there that they do EV vehicles, and it was like a little bubble, like the housing bubble was a bubble. This is the same thing. There's so many companies, especially EV companies, coming all at once, going public, and I'm like, so I started seeing.
Yeah, but would you say that? What's that due to? Because obviously, as we're running low on resources and we're trying to be kinder to the planet, in terms of drilling and digging for fossil fuels, I mean, I think anything that is happening too quickly is obviously a bubble, but like what, like the innovation has to be spurred by something,
I think
either
honestly,
necessity or whatever. So if it's a public company, and shit, I'm not an economist, man, obviously.
no, but
Again, one bedroom apartment, when not a whole knowledge, but I'm just kind of like thinking with my own logic here. So it's just like, now's the time to get the public involved in your company.
The thing about exactly how you just said it, now is the time. And with so many companies right now, seeing the potential market that there is for a higher demand, and it all started because of Tesla, because Tesla didn't outsource anything. Elon wanted to do everything himself. The gigafactories, all the trials and failures, have got Tesla where they're at now. You know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
all these other companies are saying, hey, listen, there's a market out here. We don't have to just compete. We can coexist with Tesla. We can, bring to the forefront a better movement in regards to leaving, ICE vehicles, which are fossil fuel vehicles, behind. And there's a
Right.
market everywhere. But the thing about it is, I started seeing a lot of little trends, especially when I had the investment in Nikola before they went public. I put a couple, I think about $800-900 I put in there. I got a couple shares when they were starting off there. They started off like at 10 something. So I waited. They went public and I tripled my money. Like it went up to almost at $97 and it was crazy. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? I made a mistake the first time by not, taking my win and
Money
taking
out of it
my
soon.
earnings. Sometimes you got to cut it. You got to just say, listen, you got to take out your earnings.
Yeah, but it seems to me, I mean, Fred, that you are, it's a system that you're working on right now. It's obviously paid off
Well,
in different ways. But I think that,
yeah.
for example, and I know far less than you do, that you're kind of playing a pretty risky game, if you
Yes.
will.
Well,
Because it's like a lot of people, what they do is they just buy a stock that they have kept an eye on, that they know is historically high, or even if it's a newer type of stock that maybe is like, screw it. They see the potential, they see that if they get in earlier and it pans out, then that worked out. But what they do is hold on to it for a long period of time. So you're going to have your ebbs and flows, but at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about buying and flipping. Plenty of people do that.
no.
You're obviously doing
I
that now.
totally agree. I totally agree. There's growth companies that, like this company in particular, I thought it was going to be a growth company. I really did believe in Nicole, and I said, you know what? I think with what's come out, and they have, I think, a contract with Anheuser-Busch company on a certain route that they were going to be selling them. I'm not sure if it's 30 trucks or something like that. And
Like electric trucks?
Yeah, so they had some revenue down the line that was going to come, through already a high, known, well-known customer. But I said, you know what, this is going to be a long-term thing. I'm going to hold on to this stock and just let it ride. 5, 7 years, depending. I'm just going to let it. I'm keep. What I did not like is what I started seeing behind the scenes. The main guy that was, the president of the company was all, I'm the only guy that can out Elon this and this and all this talking. And I'm like, man, this guy really hypes it up. So the guy he left his position and he became the chairman for the company. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on in the background. And I started seeing that they were, not following through with the reports and hey, America, sir. Yes, sir. Break it down.
I figured I'd get that bed from out of the background.
Yeah.
A little patriotic here, sir.
And I started seeing that a lot of things were happening with the company. I said, you know what? I don't want to sell, but I don't feel comfortable holding on to a company that is, they said they were going to do everything in-house and this, and little by little started outsourcing all their work, everything from the selling to the guarantees, to the work being done, everything. And I said, you know what? I have a feeling that this company, it looks like a pump and dump. I hope that they do good, but I'm going to cut it and get my gains. That's it. And just cash it out.
Right.
So I sold out. And what I will be doing is the main thing, the reason why I got into it, which was dividend investment. Dividend investment is, that's what I was supposed to get into it at the beginning. So, yeah.
Well, good. That was an interesting little journey into your journey.
Yeah. Students, if any students have a question, y'all in the back, Tommy? No? Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Y'all can write it down in the comments. What do y'all think? Or you guys have any suggestions, or what do you think about the companies?
Well, I mean, for example, I mean, I'm not necessarily in it the way that you are. Obviously, you have a very specific, more aggressive style. Not to make this stock hour or investment hour, excuse me, but say for example, the way that I've invested is I buy a stock and I don't fucking pay attention to it. Like I try to keep my mind off of it as much as possible because
I mean, you don't
I
want
know
to keep
that.
you don't want to keep your mind so off of it that the company.
Well, I mean, I check it, yeah.
And you
No,
can't
obviously,
lose all your money, but
I mean, if they're walking the plank, it is what it is. I pay attention to it, take a look at it. Not necessarily every single day, but a couple times a week. Definitely several times a month. And the reason why is because the stocks that I buy have been pretty well-known stocks that still have or had pre-COVID the capacity for growth, right? That's what that's what you invest in a company for, because I mean, and you tell me, you correct me if I'm wrong. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm injecting capital by buying their stocks so that they can continue to grow, and then that growth will spur even more growth.
If you do your homework, you're doing it the right way.
Right.
Yes, I gambled. Yes, I gambled in regards to how I saw. On the second term, I invested thinking that this was going to be a long-term goal, a long-term growth company, and I saw potential in it. But then the cracks started appearing, and I started seeing that it wasn't what it was painted out to be, and a lot of people were going to be disappointed. I said, you know what, it's not looking right, so I backed out. But you are doing it
That's
correct.
Good.
You find good companies and you invest in them, and just don't mind it. Let it do its thing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if I tried to pay attention to the stock market the way that you did. Obviously, you were definitely. I think your ear was a little closer to the ground than mine was. But I mean, shit. If anything like that fucking falls on my lap, or because I find it, because I did my research or whatever, I'm gonna capitalize. I'm gonna buy it low and sell it high. Isn't that what everybody wants to do?
Look, right now, I believe Microsoft is about to purchase TikTok. It was actually reported today, official word from Microsoft, that yes, they are in the process of buying TikTok.
How come? Oh, wait, no, I know why.
That's giving you a little snippet right there.
So the reason why is because they are, they were about to get shut down, weren't they, by Trump?
Yeah,
because they obviously. It's a foreign company, but it's a Chinese company, which is
Chinese company. So if they buy them and they bring them over here, and they basically,
yeah, but I mean, I might be wrong about this too. I'm just saying the way that I have this understood. Not only are they a Chinese company, but obviously China is a communist country. So although it is a enterprise, it's still probably a government-owned enterprise. So
everything goes through them.
It goes through them, and then what happens is they have what I think I read, it was like something like 80 million active daily users. So I'm not sure if that's 80 million American or global, but regardless, American is a huge piece of that pie. So that becomes very, very, very dangerous when you have a situation like a Chinese government, which is an adversarial government to the United States, with a lot of citizen information, obviously, so that, I mean, hey, they'll still own it, but if Microsoft can buy it, but still like run the United States side of the business, I think we'd feel a lot better about that. And, it's one thing, like this whole globalization thing, it's good on paper, and it's good to obviously have open, trade and whatnot. But when it comes to having adversarial governments, with a big foothold, especially with American, citizen information and things like that, you have to assume that they're not always going to use that for good. It's not just about a funny TikTok. It's about information, selling that information, like they have been, like, other American companies do that too. But, not that it makes it any better, but it makes me sleep a little better at night when it's not, an
foreign regime
government.
that's moving your information around. I get it. You
Yeah.
remember that app? I think it was like 2 years ago or late last year. It was an app. I forgot. I'm not sure if it was called Face Swap or something like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
make you look older.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I got popular. I remember that.
it
Yeah,
got
you could
very
look
popular. People
younger.
started installing it. People didn't read the details in the terms.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
You
I mean,
you
that's been
you
that.
remember what happened with and what the whole case was with that, right?
I don't remember actually. I remember there
I
was
think
something going on.
that yes, it was in I think a Russian company was the owners of it. So when you basically uploaded anything with pictures or direct, picture that you would take to use in the app, they basically owned that information. They owned your picture.
No,
A
I
lot of
mean,
people didn't read and they were like, no, you trying, let's get it. Hey, look how old I look. Yeah. Look how old.
yeah, and you're right. It's back to an adversarial government with that information, but I mean, not in their defense, but in general, whether it's Google or whether it's any familiar American company or what you would perceive as more benevolent, country with a certain business here or whatever the case is, like you don't really perceive that. Besides the inherent issues with not reading the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
or whenever they do like updates as far as their user agreements and things like that, which they constantly do, and they,
And we always
we can get down that rabbit hole
update.
next time because that shit is just a bunch of like, the ethics behind it are just murky
I
like a
think that
motherfucker.
that's the main reason why Mark Zuckerberg gets himself in so much, deep and hot water with Congress. Because he starts basically, that's another guy right there, man. Listen, you think all your information is safe from all these advertising and companies that
Nah,
sell
yeah,
information.
please.
So it's like, who doesn't have
That
my information by now? Like everybody has my information.
that guy has literally made himself. He was the youngest billionaire at one point, and he's made himself only richer, uh, off of our ignorance and our willingness to just give our information and just, here you go. Let me just, so I could just fucking post a picture of whatever the fuck, or I can go on a political rant. Go ahead, Gee. Look, so I remember that fucking, what was that name of the game that they had called Farmer Land or Farm? What was
Yeah,
it called?
Farmville.
Farmville.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I don't see that that's the thing. I discontinued my use of Facebook for years, and that was one of the main reasons because I kept on getting Farmville invitations from fucking family that I barely even spoke with, dude, and I would get incessant requests to participate in this shit, and I'm just a gay. Again, I'm not a gamer
I don't want
whatsoever.
to fucking feed your damn cow, not there.
Hey, if you got me planting another lechuga, I'm out. So that's exactly what it is. Oye, papo, planta aquí una zanahoria. I was like, hey, vete para la pinga, serio, I ain't doing that shit, bro.
Fuck out of here,
So,
man. I don't want no damn fucking rabbit.
cool, man. So, dude, on that note, we covered a pretty vast array of weird shit, but then we got pretty serious with Alfred and his stock advice. I think that as he gets better at it, and he's definitely more insightful than me, maybe and hopefully his success is
I
something.
still don't have enough knowledge, I would
Yeah,
say, or
but
experience.
still,
But
I think
we're growing.
your perspective,
in this journey. Hey, listen.
yeah, but your perspective is good though. It is also different because you're not the guru necessarily saying, here, do this, do that. It's your perspective is interesting because you're starting off for all intents and purposes. So it's good to see that you've already had somewhat success, and then let's see where you go from here. So keep us posted. How about that?
Definitely, man.
With that being said, this is our Monday post for August the 3rd, 2020. I can't believe it's fucking August, kids. Yo, we're done with this year. That's it. We got like, once September comes around,
That's it.
that's my birthday. Your boy's turning 34, so we'll arrange a little something.
Yeah,
A little gift exchange where only I get gifts and I say thank you, and I don't give you shit in return. That'd be fun. And then that's it. October, November, December. That's it. We're back to January. and you think 2021 is going to be good for you, well, think again. I'm playing. Hopefully, geez, please.
Listen, I wanted to take a trip. I had plans this year, man. I had plans this year. COVID, man. You done fucked up, Aaron. You done fucked up.
Aaron, let me tell you something. I
I
think
had plans, man.
everybody in the developed world had plans this year, buddy, and we all had to kind of come to a screeching halt.
Now,
But
but
that's a
you know
topic
what?
for another day because
I will say this.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't like interrupting you, but I will say this. I have to, send out a prayer to everybody who's struggled with this, lost loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Lost coworkers, family members. Me, myself, as a personal anecdote, I've lost family members to this damn virus. And
Sorry to hear that,
it's
dude.
not easy. And it is real. I'll tell you that at first, I would see a lot of my friends would be like, esto es embuste. This is not a real thing, bro. This is just propaganda, fake media. Fake media, my brother, listen. When you get sick from this shit, it ain't fake then. That's what I say.
Well, that's kind of the challenge that we are going against right now as a country, where you have one part of the population. I think the majority of us are of good sense and have come around to it, especially. But when you have, even though it's a minority, that minority is just a minority in relative comparison, but it still represents thousands upon maybe millions of people that are going around fucking around. And especially when they have, well, who in the biggest office, the most important office in the country, but then you also have small, like, dude, there was a congressman that just tested positive, and instead of just like, dude, the guy was seen the day before he tested positive walking around the Capitol without a mask, number one. Number two, when he actually found out he was positive, he called in his whole entire staff to tell them that he was positive in person. So when that's just an idea, all right, that just serves as a microcosm of the stupidity that's on a crazy scale, dude. And that's why it's like, this could have gone a different way, bro. If there was a unified effort, and sure, brand new disease, there was a learning curve, but we're all in consensus now that masks do good, social distancing, excuse me.
Hey, shit.
Yeah.
Send that man to test.
Fuck, bro. Nah, dude. We'll chalk that up to allergies, and I'm like literally right next to
all that damn
pilot
shit
clothes.
you were eating, boy.
Fuck you, man. I'm gonna love that shit. It's delicious. Yeah, but for real, I think that's the last Haagen Dazs I'll be enjoying for a little while. I think it's gonna be celery and carrots. But yeah, dude. So you got a bunch of idiots, dude. You got a bunch of idiots. Have we all been more unified, at least with our effort, not necessarily with the end result in terms of what we did? But fuck, bro, if we're all trying, at least this would have been a lot different and a lot better, and most importantly, less people would have died, bro. I don't care if COVID, they chalked it up for COVID and it wasn't necessarily COVID. If COVID had something to do with it, maybe that life would have been saved. So with that note, we're going to sign off. We will appreciate that. Expect the other episode. We're going to be filming that later this week. We want to be able to catch up.
And hit a double checker this week.
I'm going to continue to remind everybody, you guys are really on a journey with us, because we're just two guys that had absolutely no prior experience doing this. But, we just figured that there was a wave out there, and it's been something that we have enjoyed doing. We get better at it, I think, every single week, and hopefully, when we're a year into it and we're looking back and we see how much growth we've done and how much better we got at this, and hopefully entertaining you and more people. If you like what you are hearing, what you're watching, hanging out with us, like and subscribe. We would appreciate that. You can turn on post notifications, because that's going to go ahead and let you know, because sometimes the algorithm on YouTube isn't necessarily the one that's going to put us in front of you. But if you put the notification, you will be reminded, and you will also be lending us a great deal of support by doing that. So I appreciate that. I'm Jay. He's Alfred. We appreciate you. Peace.